Hi, my name is Leilani, and in this video, I'm gonna share with you our curriculum picks for history, science, Bible, and a little bit of writing. These are our family, we do it as a family. That's what we do, our family curriculum picks. And that includes my youngest, who is 4 years old, and she does have special needs, all the way to my oldest, who is 11. There's a 7 and 9-year-old in between. Yes, like I said, even my 4-year-old, we're always trying to find ways to get her involved because this is a family thing. We want to build those family dynamics and those family memories and get her in that habit. So that's the goal with this. I'm also in this video gonna share with you how we approach these subjects in a very unique fashion. And I'm gonna explain why we do this. So I am a former public and private school teacher. I am a homeschool evaluator for the state of Florida. I also do testing for homeschoolers in the state of Florida. And like I said, I have 4 homeschool kids of my own, including my youngest who has Down syndrome. So let me share with you first how I approach these subjects. Now, first of all, we are a full year homeschool family. We keep going. We don't take an 8-week period off. We take weeks off here and there and we need them, like vacation, or just if somebody gets sick, we'll take a week off there. But if we finish a topic, we go to the next topic and we just keep going. Now with science and history, I like to alternate those. So we'll do science and then history, and we also unit study them. So I'll do science. For example, the first one that we're gonna do is botany. I'm gonna show you that one in a second. Then, as soon as we're done with that curriculum, we're gonna transition into history. What's nice about doing this is that I can spend more time having my kids think about the topic, absorbing themselves into the topic. It's kind of like college, if you really think about it. I always wondered when I first started homeschooling why we didn't approach homeschooling in the same way that colleges approach their classes. I started finding myself focusing on one topic and just sitting there and absorbing it and dwelling in that. So I'm just gonna do it the way they do in college, sort of. You'll see. So let me show you the curriculum that I'm using and explain a little bit more on how we do this. The first thing that we're gonna delve into is exploring creation with botany. Now, I love Apologia. I have been teaching at a homeschool co-op, elementary and middle school science for, I don't know, like 8 years. And I've gone through every single one of these books. Now, Apologia did come out with an updated botany version. I have this one, so we're just gonna use this one. I don't think it's that much of a difference when I looked at their table of contents, so that didn't really concern me. I did not, however, get their journals. So what I did do is they have a code in the front of the book. It's Book Extras. You can go on their website, click on Book Extras, type in the code, and it's gonna send you to a page that just has a bunch of links. And one of the links for the old version of botany, not the new one, I didn't see it in the new one, but the old one, they had a list of pages that you can print out and use for notebooking. So here's an example of one right here that we printed out. Since we are year-round homeschoolers, we have actually started on this lesson. So how we are approaching this, there are a total of 13 lessons in here. So I'm gonna take that and multiply it by 2. If you look at the actual lesson of the book, it kind of feels like it's broken into 2 parts. So they have lesson 1, you go through lesson 1, you read. You're reading. The kids can read out loud, we do that too. And then it kind of feels like it comes to a stopping point. And I feel like all of the Apologia books have done this. It comes to kind of like a stopping point. And then you do an activity and you talk about it. So that for us would be day 1. Day 2 would be the rest of the lesson. And yeah, there's a little try this activity in the middle of it, but for the most part, it just keeps going until we get to the very end, where they have an extra project, a notebooking activity, and a what do you remember section. So we have 13 lessons multiplied by 2, that gives us 26. It's gonna take us 26 days to go through this botany lesson, approximately a month and a half. And if it takes us a little bit longer, no big deal, but that's that for science. When we are done with botany, we are gonna move over to this is ancient Egypt and Greece. We've done Egypt, so we're gonna move on to Greece. I have pretty much used TruthQuest for all of our history. What I like about TruthQuest is that it isn't just a lesson. it gives you resources that you can check out from the library. So each section is gonna start with a read out loud little paragraph. Now these are a little bit advanced for my kids, so I'll read this on my own and then I'll kind of tone it down for them. Then they have a ton of resources, whether they're library books or whether they're other textbooks, like for example, Story of the World, or I think they even had Streams of Civilization in here. So those are more textbooks that you can kind of use as a backbone, sort of, not a spine. This is your spine. Maybe this is like the nerves or the spinal cord. I don't know. Do you see what I'm saying? You could use these textbooks along with this. We go to the library once a week anyway. I spend time on my phone reserving these books as they start to come along. I probably have 20 books on hold right now at the library. And you kind of just chug through it. There is a lap book that the kids do put together. It doesn't cost that much extra, but it just kind of ties all the loose ends together. Love this curriculum, love the flexibility that it brings. I will also say we're gonna jump in and do Bible and writing along with this. So we just got done doing ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, Babylon, Persia, and as we were going through those things, we were reading along with the Bible, with Truth Quest history and IEW. I love, love, love IEW. And we've been working through ancient history-based writing lessons. Now we only got maybe to lesson 7 in this book. So after we're done with botany and once we get back into the ancient Greece, we're gonna jump right back into where we left off. So they've got the lap book, Truth Quest, writing, and then also reading the Bible along with it, according to the time periods. So we're gonna be learning all about Jesus. We're gonna be spending a good hour to 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours, just soaking in all this information about the ancient Greeks. Not only that, but one of the read alouds that I want to do with my kids is the Percy Jackson series. Also at our congregation, it looks like the VBS is going to be themed in Athens. So building around your unit study and finding outside opportunities to go on field trips or to reach out and bring in, maybe have a Greek festival. You gotta come up with those little ideas. Like with botany, we're making a garden, you know. It's more of a project instead of school is what it kind of turns into. And you go deeper into the subject. I really believe in this method of teaching. Now, after we are done with botany and after we are done with Greece, we're not going to be done with the ancient history-based writing lessons because we do have Rome to go through. We're gonna stop, we're gonna take a break, and we're gonna skip right back into science. And this is the book that I'm gonna go for, which is Exploring Creation with Zoology 1, Apologia. Now, Apologia will say that they are family lessons, and I believe that because I've done it, but they are written, there is an order, and you can see the difficulty happening as you go through that order. Now, I don't know where earth science fits in, because that's their new curriculum, and I don't know where their nutrition fits in, but I can tell you that astronomy's first, botany second, and then this Exploring Creation with Zoology 1, then 2, then 3, right in order. That's just what I've seen. We're gonna do this as number 3 with all of my kids. And this is all about those birds and insects and even some bats. So it's the same kind of format. When you open it up, we're gonna try and divide this up. Now, because it's a little more difficult, we might do 3 days per lesson, but I'm gonna play it by ear with the kids and see how they feel. That's the other thing too, with unit studies, actually, whenever you're homeschooling, you've got to be flexible. If you're not flexible, then like, just send them back to public school. Well, I shouldn't say that. It feels like you just should, because you should always be flexible. What is zoology? So you're gonna go through here, same thing, some activities to do, and this one's pretty short, so honestly, this will take 2 days. Probably gonna make a birdhouse, probably going to, I don't know, maybe buy a bird, I don't know. Definitely be collecting some insects, because that is part of this book. Ugh, I forgot that part. And of course, after we're done, with that, we're gonna jump right back into ancient Rome. Same kind of idea. They have the little beginnings, and then they have a list of books that you can go and find at the library. Love this. And of course, going right along with this, we'll finish up ancient Greece and start right into the Roman stories. It's gonna be around lesson 21, maybe 19. I did a video on IEW explaining, I've done several videos on IEW. I'm gonna go ahead and link them down in the description box below. I do have videos on Truth Quest. I have a video comparing Apologia with answers in Genesis, so I'm gonna link all that down in the description box below. Now, of course, it looks as if we're not really studying Bible when we get into the botany and to the flying creatures. So I have some other stuff that I'm using to teach Bible, of course the Bible, but I have my brother's keeper. We've been going through this here and there. It's just a quick one. Of course, our congregation actually comes out with stuff. Have you guys ever gone to church and they give you stuff to take home and do with your kids? Like, they're serious about that, and you should probably take advantage of it if you haven't already. So we do that. We take advantage of that. Also in love with this series. This is Apologia too. You can tell I love Apologia because it's good stuff. And the What We Believe series, I feel like this really lays a good foundation. It's written in the same kind of format as their other Apologia books, except they don't have experiments, but they do have activities. I think I saw a recipe in here. They also have a book extras that you can get offline. And I love this one because it has a nice little story that you read as you go throughout this book. And I've read through this book once when my kids were younger. It's time to read through it again. Now, I will be honest in saying that I am a co-opper. There are two different co-ops. The homeschool co-op that I go to on Tuesdays, all the teachers, they are paid professionals. They know what they're doing. I have a video on it. I'm sticking it right there. So next year, I'm looking at a few classes. I'm actually teaching there, so, you know. For science, I'm actually teaching the two classes. One of them is going to be inventions and their inventors. The other one is going to be astronomy. And so those two science classes, both of my boys are gonna take, and my daughter is gonna take the invention class. The astronomy class is more for that middle school age, but like he's gonna be in 4th grade, so he's gonna take it as well. And I'm teaching it, and I love astronomy. But I feel like astronomy, there are so many things, there's so many questions to ask about astronomy when it comes to a Christian, a believer, because we've been taught so many things from an evolutionist perspective. How do you explain the age of the universe? How do you explain the vastness of the universe? How do you explain light years and the light, the traveling of the light to Earth and the speed and the time, and especially if you believe in a young Earth? And so getting upon those questions and talking about those questions and being open about those questions, because a lot of us don't know the answers. So I am actually, I'll share with you this. If you've ever heard of Dr. Jason Lisle. Now this is a nice little, just reading book. I think it's really good for maybe not elementary, more for like middle and high school. Also gonna share with you the curriculum that I bought that Dr. Jason Lisle wrote. It's on its way, it's not here, but it's called The Stargazer's Guide to the Night Sky by Dr. Jason Lisle. I'm also gonna be looking at the new Apologia High School astronomy book. It might be a little bit advanced, but I can kind of sift through it, find answers for myself. Dr. Jason Lisle, by the way, great resource. He has a lot of books out. Look him up. I'm gonna leave some links down below for adults, for middle schoolers, for high schoolers. He's gonna answer those questions that you have as a parent and as a student when it comes to astronomy. And it's just is good stuff, guys, because it makes you go, oh. There's a lot of circular reasoning in astronomy that we really don't think about. And he debunks a lot of stuff. It's good. It's good stuff. So my son is actually gonna be taking, my two sons are gonna be taking that middle school astronomy straight through. There are gonna be other middle schoolers in that class, but I'm teaching it, so I can bring my 4th grader if I want. Plus he's really interested in astronomy, so hey. And of course the inventors and their inventions class, that's kind of a mix with the history and the science kind of put together. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And it's based off of that Gather Round curriculum that came out. We're using that as kind of like a inspiration, not as a backbone, but just something to kind of inspire me. And then I'm kind of formulating the curriculum on my own. But co-oping is such a great resource. I am hoping that our Friday co-op does some kind of geography for my daughter, and the Constitution stuff going on at the other co-op is gonna be amazing. I'm gonna put my both boys in it. It's gonna teach them the Constitution and what it actually says with correct interpretation. That part's important. Oh, and there's one more thing, a little bit of curriculum I wanna share with you, and that is, okay, so we are going through Greece and Rome, and Latin and Greek is, you know, a thing, right? They spoke that language. So we're gonna focus on the root words. And we found a curriculum online. It's a little book on Teachers Pay Teachers. I'll leave it down in the description. There's just gonna be a lot of stuff in that description box that you should check out. But what's really cool is it's basically a lap book. So you have the roots, and they have their definitions that they write in. But you also have, we just started this, as you can see, prefixes and suffixes, and they have little worksheets that kind of go along with it. My soon-to-be second grader, she is not doing the worksheets, but she is doing the fun little pictures. She's coloring them, and we're going through them, and we're talking about them. So this honestly is, it's vocabulary, a little bit of spelling in there, in the root words, Latin, Greek, it's a family subject too as well. Now, how on earth do I include my 4-year-old? Okay, let me just be frank. She does have special needs. She has Down syndrome. We include her just, you know, of course, read aloud. She sits in my lap. She sits in her brother's lap. She listens to the story. If we're watching a YouTube video, she watches along with us. If we go on a field trip, she's coming along with us. She's picking flowers. She's gardening with us. She's catching bugs with us. She's letting bugs go with us. All these things that she can do that are hands-on, she's doing. And what's most important is that we're including her in our lives. We're not keeping her separate. She's a part of our family. She's a part of who we are. Life would totally not be the same without her. She's amazing, and that's one reason to subscribe to my channel, because we are on a journey, and she is different. I mean, I can't deny that, but she is unique. She is amazing. This journey is sharing with you that we can homeschool someone with special needs. We can, as a parent, raise someone with special needs. And I'm trying to figure out how to do it as I do this YouTube channel. So it's a journey. Like I said, like 20 times, I said it's a journey, because it is. We're doing speech therapy classes with her, physical, aqua therapy. We're getting books and resources, and I'm sharing that, all of that with you, coming from, you know, my perspective, as well as hers, because she's growing up and she has a lot of things to think about. And what's really cool about this channel is if you're curious about, you know, when she was 2, you can actually go back in the archives and find videos of her when she was 2. Or if you know someone who's pregnant with Down syndrome, you can hear about my pregnancy story or our open heart surgery and see that she has recovered and she's thriving and she's growing, you know. And it's not just about her, but it is our family journey, because we are a homeschool family. So I thank you guys for watching this video. Seriously, leave me a comment down below. I love engaging with all of you. You could totally check out my Instagram page. So I am gonna stick some videos around my face that I think you actually might be interested in seeing. I thank you guys for staying to the end of the video. Give me a little emoji if you stayed to the end, just because I'm curious to see who sticks around. So until then, I will see you guys in our next video. Bye.